taking a ride in the bucket of the tractor to get this here Toyota axle from 1983. It's 55 inches, exactly what I'm looking for. It's hard to get. All right, well, I got my axle home and I have no idea how I'm gonna get it out of the trunk of my car because we put it in with a tractor. This should be fun. This is gonna end in some broken plastic and possibly a taillight. Maybe. Oh yeah, boy. Come on, you big heavy thing. Okay, here's where the magic happens. The good thing this is a Volvo. Well, this is what it looks like to build your Jeep. You wonder why your back hurts. I did it and I broke nothing. I did move the rug, however, in the trunk. Whew. It'll make me a chiropractor appointment. All right, so after I went and fought that axle out of the woods, I decided to clean it all up and work on it. I emptied it all out. It was disgusting. Unfortunately, it had water in it, so it really did a lot of damage to literally everything in the axle, except the housing. The housing is good, so I'm going to repair the axle. I stripped it down last night, got all the stuff off it, did the same to their front axle, and I got them mounted. So this is what they look like mounted. So I made all of the bracketry for it, cut all the crap off last night. This one I'm gonna put a gusset in it. Since the spring is so far back, it uses this as a fulcrum to bend the axle. So we're gonna beef this up so that don't happen, because originally Toyota had it all the way over here, which as you can imagine is a lot stronger there than here. Not that I think I'll bend it, because it's a lot lighter and it is a pickup truck axle, but you know, better safe than sorry. The front, not a problem, because it's basically factory location and this is plenty beefy. And this year Toyota truck axle has a gusset all the way to here. So that should be fine. And today what I'm gonna do is probably build this gusset a little. I found some of the old school U-bolts sitting in the goo. I found all the Toyota stuff I needed in my preferred Toyota junkyard. Well, I guess let's start working on this axle. Oh, don't let it move. Well, that don't look as smooth as the other side, but it's a good thing Santa seen my welds and got me a grinder for Christmas. Those lines are a little drunken. Okay, so I'm gonna cut these gussets out tonight. I got a piece of square stock, some pretty thick stuff. I'm gonna make the gusset between the bearing mounting surface all the way in the end, all the way in here to the third member housing. This way, this smaller area between this gap and here is beefed up, so I don't end up with any trouble with bending it. All right, there's the gussets. They're all cut and fitted. There's two of them. So here's the only problem with my gussets. I can't weld them in until I know the pinion angle of the axle with the weight on the Jeep, with the engine, the body, and everything in it, so I get my pinion angles right, so I'm not eating up U-joints and everything else. You don't really want 15 degrees is maxed out for a U-joint. 10 degrees, you're eating them up. You want somewhere like 5, really. So since nothing's welded on and it's completely custom, I can basically set it for that and save myself a whole lot of driveline problems. But what I'm gonna have to do now is basically just bolt it all together loosely, assemble the Jeep, put the body on, everything else. The front I don't have to worry about, and then roll the axle where it needs to be, unbolt everything, weld it all together, then put it in. It's literally the last thing I'll be doing almost is the back axle, other than like electrical and, you know, running fuel lines and stuff. All the weight has to be on the Jeep to set that pinion angle correctly. I can pull the axle up with some straps or something, but it's crude because I don't know how much weight it's actually going to take to settle these larger leaf springs that are for a YJ, which is a heavier Jeep. So I'm going to let it ride for now, strap it down loosely so I can roll around, do everything I got to do, then I'll weld them. And towards the end of the build, actually. I gusseted the axle, and I also bought these special spring plates here by Rough Country. They're like some weird special thing or whatever. But they actually wrap around the spring so that the bottom of the spring is freaking flat. So I won't get caught up on stuff or get stuck on rocks or mud or whatever, because literally, I mean, it's literally flat. Those things are freaking awesome. I love those things. So being that it's a spring under axle conversion, the only lower thing there is the diff by like 1 millimeter. So everything is flat under here. So that'll really, really help since it's not a very lifted vehicle. But I thought that was so cool. I want to show that to you guys. Okay, so obviously we've now just jumped to our studio, which is where we keep our merchandise, which we are now selling. So if you're interested in any of that, check out ItsDeza.bigcartel.com. The link will also be in the description, and you can check out the merchandise. So the Jeep tub. Once I got done with the chassis, which was shortly after I got the springs and such done, I jumped to the tub. The tub was a really haggard up mess. Years of people working on it had left it in shambles. The tub was completely coated in Bondo, braze, lead, bolts, everything you can imagine was stuck to the poor thing. So this is basically the process of saving that tub, which was important to me because it was an original World War II tub and even has bullet holes in it from service life. So this is a process of saving that old tub. I ever tell you guys how much I hate rust? I hate it with a passion. I've been hacking at this thing for like probably 12 hours. No, probably like 9 hours. I got this whole section done, which was nice. I mean, I had to build all the framing for it across. This has got to get put in. And I got all this done. Got the whole side done where it was full of, I don't even know what the hell that was. Got all these lines right. So I got all this in, floor put together. This is my cutout for the engine. I actually cut this and dropped it down so I could retain my bullet holes. That pain in the ass that is. I'm not done, I gotta cap it all. I gotta fix all this. These I gotta replace, and this whole floor brace is supposed to have one of these in it, and it don't, so I gotta put a brace in it. Rot, all the tail lights I gotta redo. I gotta redo the floor here. I just got done doing that section of floor, and up in here. This thing is still good somehow, so I gotta separate this, but some idiot filled it with braze. This is wrong. This is a disgusting hack someone did for a seat. It's just a gobbled up mess. But believe it or not, it's in really good shape for the year. Look at all this. Look at this. It's like the damn Grand Canyon, dude. Oh. I had the parts to fix it, but God, I wish I could just spend the $3,000 and buy a new tub, but it's actually $2,000, but it's not original. This one's cool, and it's free. I'm still convinced it's a good tub. I had to, obviously I cut and welded that already, but all of this is missing now. And this whole section here has got to go, along with their fix, and all of this, and that. I'm running out of Jeep. I was able to save this little guy though, and this little foot pedestal. Save that. I got to redo all these bars. I had to start cross bracing it because it's getting kind of thin right there. Fortunately though, I have all these panels. And they're actually, I think, the same year, but they're off of Willys. But they're the same year anyway. That's all this junk is. Good thing I got it. Dang, dude, I ain't gonna make it to the end.